Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi Yasir wa la tu'asir wa tamim bil khair. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. In the journey to teach with love and care, today, inshallah, we sit together to educate mothers and teachers based on prophetic pedagogy with practical ideas, peer discussions, and fieldwork, practical hands-on work. So, a very, very warm welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan marhaba bikum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to be fully ready to soak in the treasures, the wisdom that has been shared. So many researchers have put these things together, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it an ilmun nafi'a for us, that it becomes a beneficial knowledge for us. Today our topic is really interesting, and that is partnering with parents. Sometimes what we do is we try to bypass or dodge, or we see them as a liability. We see them, we want to avoid meeting the parents. It's generally an instruction also to teachers not to directly interact with the teachers, with the parents directly, and things like that. So today we are going to see how can we partner with them, the ones who are entrusting their most precious children to us, to how to make those connections so that we build bridges of trust. We build bridges for helping our students learn, rise, and shine, inshallah. So that is our goal. And why we are doing this, at the end of the day, all that collaboration, all that communication, all that working together model is to help the student be successful. So this is a beautiful, beautiful triangle, and we want Quran and Sunnah as our guide in our interaction with our parents, alhamdulillah. So if we are sitting here as a mother, that involves partnering with your spouse. So that involves partnering with your in-laws, like partnering with your parents, partnering with any other caretakers which are part of the triangle in which that the child is growing. So let us reaffirm our commitment. So there are 3 D's coming to my mind, and if you want to write it on your paper, the first D is for a decision, the second D is for determination, and the third D is for discipline. Okay, I have been trying to anchoring myself also in this. So if we want to teach with love and care, I just want to dream it, dua it, and do it with the right decisions, with the right determination, and then have the right discipline to do that effectively. So if we are ready, then let's get started. Go ahead and type 1 that yes, alhamdulillah, and I want to partner with my parents to make the most of my teaching journey, inshallah. All right, so I will see them, other caretakers, other caregivers as part of my success package, so that I can get to know my student better, so I can deal with them in the best of ways, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ, and we have enjoined upon man care for his parents. So taking care of the parents is something which is super, super important, and dealing with the parents has to be done with the right approach. So is the right approach to just avoid them, keep them not aware of what's happening, right? So no, the right approach is to make them part of the efforts that we have we are doing, and this is coming from Suratul Luqman, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So here, what are we going to do? What are we going to do is that we want to understand that honoring the parents is a central concept in Islam, and schools, any places of giving education, any places of enrichment must extend this respect when dealing with families. So if we are servicing a child, it goes beyond the doors and goes towards the entire families, and we have to respect that, inshallah. Now, today's goal of this session that we sit together is that we see parents as allies, not obstacles. Let that sink in. Number 2, strengthen respect and communication. And number 3, align home and school goals for holistic student development. So if we are talking about a homeschool child, we want to align the learning and the home environment in a way that the child is thriving and learning. So how are we going to do that? It starts with a very, very warm welcome. So even before the child has arrived to the school, the communication which is going out, depending on what age group your student is, depending on which area your student is, depending on where you teach, how you teach, what kind of institute you're affiliated with, it all depends on their guidelines, but it begins with a very, very warm welcome. All right, so for example, I'm sharing a screenshot from one of the messages that goes out to my elementary students. It is very visible on their boards when they come to school. It's welcome with lots of duas and hugs, and the key mission is identified, which is read to succeed, inshallah. Your visuals could be there, your welcome message could be there. So these give a good message. You can always record a message, make sure that every child's name is taken. Some super teachers, what do? They send out even note cards, postcards to their home. They mail it to their homes. Just moments ago, I was teaching a student, and I started my class just like that, and the student walked in brimming with smile, and she was like, oh, you know what, I got my gift. So I had somebody take the gift and deliver it to their home, subhanallah. And the child was so happy because they could make a connection, just a small little something. If this is your online student, you can use that. If it's your on-site student, you can meet them and you can share something meaningful them. It could be a small little something, encouragement. Like yesterday we had our let's say our fourth graders coming in, a small keychain. The teachers offered like a small keychain with had like a character on it, and it shows some resilience. It had some messages. Our third graders received some gift bags. It had some affirmations that you are loved, you are special. So that makes it very, very meaningful. It could be a little small something. For us as adults, we can see it as something. Maybe some students may not really acknowledge that. Maybe for some parents, they may not even realize it. They don't appreciate it. But most of your parents will. Most of your students will appreciate those little gestures, inshallah. So the second thing, once you have a warm welcome, not only for your students, for your parents, so you have this communication, like you had the planner for the students, but that planner should also be shared with your parents as well, so they are aware as to what to expect, what is the guidelines. And then we need to have a respectful communication. In Surah Al-Isra, we get this in the Quran, that فَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا. So we should stay away from the stigmatism in which we start labeling the parents that this is a pokey parent, this is a overindulging parent, or this is too much of a touchy parent, or this is a problem parent. No, we stay away from that, professionally, morally, legally, in every way. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, do not say to them so much as uff, and do not repel them, but speak to them a noble word. Yes, if there is a problem, that there's something that they do, and you do know that this is going to impact what the student or child is doing, then of course you are going to intercept that, and you will take the necessary action for that. But other than that, the respect can never be lost, right? So give respect to get respect. If there's any problem, even when the child had done an issue and you have call them in for a problem solving meeting, even in that sense, we need to use very, very respectful communication at that time. It's not allowed at all to use disrespectful language. It's never allowed to use disrespectful body language for a parent or a family member. So we need to not only aim to develop character building for our students, we also need to model adab in the school parent communication, inshallah. So it has to be with the right salutations and things like that. So why are we stressing so much about parent partnership? The reason is that the child that we are trying to teach, their parent, knows him or her from day one. They have unique insight into the child's need. We may not know what the child already knows, and we may not know that what the child does not know, and we can take parents' help on that. Rasulullah said, "Khairukum khairukum li ahli." The best of you are those who are best to their families. So these families, when they're coming to you, the parent knows, how this child gets excited, what is, the motivation for this child, what is this child's struggles. So when we share the goals with our families, when we share that, then what happens, these children thrive when parents and teachers work together. Like, for example, I'm inducting a new student in my Quran program, and this student I have seen personally being in a Quran program for almost 2 years. And when I was discussing the portfolio with the parent said, oh, he has not moved forward from he's still, can you believe it, he's still on lesson number 3. And I was discussing with the mom, I was telling him that, what, your child, what I see is there is a disconnect happening somewhere. The child, he's so smart and brilliant, he just needs to be taught the why part. That why are you doing this drill? The day he will unlock the why, the how will become very easy. And this parent just sat down with me and she said, you are right. And I said, what does inspire him? And she said, he loves Beyblades. And I said, okay, I'm going to, design a system in which we will have a racetrack. We will do this accomplishment. And then, as a prize, we are going to do that. So you can always have shared goals with the families. That has double advantage. Sometimes the parents also pitch in. Okay, I will, have that reward. You don't have to even take care of that reward or anything. The parents will pitch in. The parents will come up for support and all that, but you will have that goal identified. Like, for example, we had at Rising Stars, we wanted our children to memorize, so we had that goal that we'll take you out for a certain place for an outing, and we saw that tremendous result. The parents were supportive, the parents were willing to give permission to take the children. So students thrive when it's a community working together for them, and they can see that everybody is working for their interest. So there is some policy for communication. It has to be clear, respectful, and consistent. So even if a child is not performing, let's say you are working and the child is not performing, you got to inform, you got to communicate that, hey, in my observation, I'm seeing these problems at home. I'm not sure if you have noticed anything at home. So, for example, if it's a very young child, let's say, a 4-year-old and 5-year-old, and you're seeing this kid constantly snatching and not collaborating, not working with the peers. So you can communicate to the parent that, hey, I'm noticing, we are not here for a diagnostic, but we can just let them know. If you are seeing some signs like ADHD symptoms or something like that, you can ask them that, hey, we are noticing that this child is throwing things and not collaborating. And you can say it in a positive tone that, he has a very strong grip. He's, holding bigger kids than him, with much force. So, but I was just wondering if anything such like this has happened at home, so the parent can open up and the parent can let you know what's going on. Same thing, you want to reach them for positive praise that, hey, mashallah, I noticed out of my whole class, mashallah, your child was a very fluent reader. I'm wondering what you're doing at home. I'm wondering how are you mashallah mentoring with the Qur'anic studies that mashallah last time also what I gave him or her the homework, it was beautifully done, mashallah, and that can also open insight. So our tone needs to be collaborative but not corrective. And there's a difference between both. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to choose the right words, the right ways. Now here is another example of what am I expecting from my student. So this is an example of when I'm sending a note to my parent saying that thank you to the wonderful parents like you. As always, appreciate your active involvement as parents and please continue to encourage your child. So what am I requesting? The parent to read, to succeed, and review on Mondays, complete the reflection challenge on Thursdays, and STEAM show and share on Fridays. So this is something specific to a full-time school in which I'm taking classes for 3 days a week and things like that. And then I am telling them that learn and follow Quran and Sunnah, share achievements for hasanat and rewards. That's my number 5. So your communication can be very specific. Like here in number 4, you can see I have a system in which the parents are able to see the progress. So I would tell them that, hey, you have to check that, and I'm giving you some extra supplemental videos that you can enjoy, inshallah. So the art is to turn that information into knowledge and the knowledge into ilmun nafi'a, then the child has keys to success, alhamdulillah. So this is just an example, and another example is that these expectations should be very clearly spelled out for the students, for the teachers, for if you have like co-workers like TAs, that can be laid out, and you can even add like a parent model. So even with us also, we have that model in which we have collaborative model for parents as well, as to what is expected from the parents. Like for example, if we are in a Sunday programming, the parents are expected to bring the children on time. If the parent is not bringing the child on time, how can we expect that the child will thrive in that system, because the child is arriving late, right? Subhanallah. So here in this expectation, you can see that we are expecting students to learn. They are expected to encourage the classmates, have fun, and complete work. While the teacher is expected to teach, she is expected to encourage students, she is expected to love her students, unconditionally, not like pick and choose, and then make it fun and exciting, alhamdulillah, right? And both are expected not to give up, work hard, respect, and be kind. So this is something, very fair. The students would love it, the sincerity. So this is something that we all can make, bring it with us. If we are like part-time teachers walking in temporarily, we can always take that model, have that consistently reaching out. Now here the topic is parent communication. So when it comes to the child, here is a sampler of what I would do when I'm teaching Islamic studies. That's what I do with my parents. I tell them, I send them this questionnaire before even I see them in the class. I text them that, what do you expect from your child's Islamic studies class this year? Is there anything you would like me to be aware of concerning your child? Any comments, any suggestions? So there is a link that they can access all the time, and they can fill that in. My welcome letter includes details about me, my family, what I've been doing, how can I be of help. So all those things, I forgot to add a glimpse of that here, but my welcome letter has a very detailed intro about me, and that goes to my students, alhamdulillah. So as teachers, as educators, once you have that connection, that's really nice. So that welcome message can go in the beginning also, before they arrive. That is very moving when somebody does that. And same thing, like it can go sometimes when you have a long break, like coming Sunday, let's say you have a holiday, you have a Labor Day weekend, and you're not having that regular Sunday school programming, then sending out a text or an email to your parents, or to your students via your parents, that, hey, I missed you, I hope you're revising, we did surah this, so I hope you take some time to revise. It shows to the parents that you take care, you worry about that child, you worry about that child, and you care for them. So again, these are some guidelines, and they can be enforced specifically in certain systems, in certain programs. The teachers can opt for creating their own personal WhatsApp groups with their parents, and obviously teachers have a life of their own as well, so you can always keep it muted, you can always keep it one-way communication. The kind of newsletter that you send, only that can be posted there, only can be used at your discretion for the reminders. Rasulullah ﷺ said, ad-deenun nasiha, and religion is sincere advice. So we sincerely want, let's say I'm teaching a student for a month, let's say I'm teaching a student for a semester, let's say I'm teaching a student for a year. So I sincerely want that child to learn and progress over that time. So then I can design ways in which they're not losing time. So even in a vacation mode, we can, through the help of parents, we can help that they are doing things that we want them to do. So in Quran, in chapter number 49, comes the word li ta'arafu, so that you may know one another. So if you look at this is like beyond the bell, strengthening homeschool bridge, right? So when you are sending out that message, it's not done at inside the school, but this is done via mediums, and your parents are facilitating it for you. So this word in Surah Al-Hujurat is very interesting to once we again, when if you have like a class of 20 students, 25 students, maybe it may go unnoticed by half, but I'm telling you that really creates a really goodwill amongst those parents who really want to be involved, and you really want to help their child. So how can we do do this? There are multiple ways. As I said, you can have that like that WhatsApp group. There are some other tools like Blooms out there that hides all the phone numbers and stuff. They could be text reminders. Nowadays there's many other applications like Remind and Seesaw and Google Classroom. And another way is to invite parents, like send a special invitation to parents to come to the learning celebrations, so that you are in touch with the parent and the child feels happy and motivated, that all of them is working. So I'm going to take a little break to connect with all of you, and do share how do you connect and communicate with your parents. If as a parent yourself, if you are taking care of your child, how do you do that with your spouse, or how do you connect and communicate with your students' parents? Whoever would like to go first. We'll take 3 sharings on that.
Yesterday in the orientation, there was a sheet on the desk, like they were asking about many questions in that, like what do you think, or where in what area your child has to be improved, what do you think as a teacher we need to do. So many questions were given in that. So through that we can connect with the parents, so that we can know more about the student.
So as you're talking about as a parent, when you walked into your child's classroom, you saw that basically, right? So that was like this questionnaire that I had shown you earlier.
Yes.
Right. Alhamdulillah. Anybody else?
I don't know how to connect as a teacher, but as I'm connecting to the teachers as a parent, I feel that if you are not getting something at any point, we should not delay in that. Because for me, I'm getting to know now with Aman's, my elder kids teachers, that there is a lot more we were not following up through. And which caused a big hurdle for Aman, knowingly or unknowingly. Because the thing is, my kid is someone who don't express anything. And it was a very different environment for me. I was not understanding how to reach the teacher. So at present now, I'm understanding how to reach the teachers by emails, even by, we can call the frienders that, hey, I'm not feeling good with these things. Can I have a meeting with the teacher? We can arrange that. So this is how I was connecting. And now I'm regularly in contact with them. Now I'm getting more information. With that information, now I'm talking to my kid. First, I'll be questioning him, how was your day? He'll be saying, Alhamdulillah, it's good. He'll not say anything. But then I'll pull out one thing. This is what happened. This is what happened. Then he starts to elaborate. So based on the kid's requirement, we should be, following up with the teachers. Like with my younger one, he will be telling everything what happened in the school. Though I go to the school, but for me, it was not necessary to ask that what you did, that is there anything I have to know? No. So it is whenever you feel that you're not getting something, the best way is to connect. Try to figure it out, how you can connect with them, talk with them.
So here, in this, since we are sitting as educators, as those mothers, who are trying to help teach our children with love and care, so we can feel the sense of responsibility of a teacher communicating, right? So as you rightfully said, that if a child is running behind, is, getting behind and not doing, yes, I can look bad, for example, in my summer camp, I had this student who's coming in and just playing, he does not have any appetite for learning. And this child is just, so for me, I have to raise the flag. So I raise the flag with my directors, have you ever seen this child? Do you think what is the regular situation with this child? And they, they are aware. Then I do communicate it to the parent, and then I leave it at that point. I just make sure that and I just have to be very careful in how I'm communicating, using that respectful communication, but I have to raise it. So just as you said, obviously I feel that frustration now as well. If any educator would have sensed, let's say with Azian specifically, he's not hearing anything or not responding to anything, then could have been diagnosed much sooner, right? So there could be small things or big things that could be, an educator could have, guessed it much before, because
Yes.
because
Yeah.
many of our parents are extremely busy trying to make ends meet,
No,
trying
I
to
don't think it's about busyness. It's about the lack of knowledge, because
yes,
they study in a very different environment. Like
right,
we can see the generation gaps have a lot of difference, and
right,
we to our kids, it's a very huge gap. The way of the education that change. It's more of now with the with the online learning and everything we can found. We had a very bookish kind of knowledge, where you just go to school, get some information, no libraries and no phones, internet and nothing. We lag a lot in the present day education system. So even when I was contacted is when they found a very big change in like he's lagging very much. Then they was like uh, approached me that is this something you're have concern with. Then it started actually.
right.
And
So
then I started driving. It is a big process going on with it. It was not a easy thing when, and sometimes it is like hard for the parents to accept that their kid is lagging in something.
absolutely,
They may notice it, but they feel that no, my kid is good. Maybe he needs some more practice.
yeah, that's a
But
stage of
sometimes
denial.
it's not just the practice; it's the way of teaching.
Yes,
It's the way of reconnecting the kid when he come back to home. I
right,
feel this as a way.
right. So inshallah, to sum up, these challenges are real. Dyslexia is real. Like all these things are definitely real. So for example, like last week when I was doing an assessment in a classroom, I saw somebody struggling with the Quran. So I reached out to some of those parents, and one of the parents, she reached back to me and she said, you know what, my child gets very insecure when she has to recite the Quran in public because she has dyslexia, and she's working with another teacher and things like that. So getting to know that really helps. So on the flip side, sometimes as a teacher you see that spark in that child. So many a times I've reached out to parents that, hey, mashallah, your child has this in him or her to do this particular thing. So we have students who have gone into Hifz track because they have excellent memorization. We have students who have gone into leadership roles, who have gone into have selected a certain pathway because they have a certain desire for doing some things in that way. So inshallah, it's very important, not just on a negative note but on a positive note, to connect and communicate with parents. If you all agree, then alhamdulillah that this is something so important. And let's look at our role. If we are coming as parents, you have all the right to connect and communicate with your teacher. And if you're coming as a teacher, then please do connect and communicate with your parents in a positive and welcoming way. So it is not only parents who are coming let's say from back home or adapting to the changing trends. It's also those teachers who have been teaching conventionally, and they are not like trained or qualified, that they resist that communication with the parents. So even on a personal level, when I reach out to a teacher for a PTC and she starts finding excuses to delay it, hey, we are setting up, we are settling down, we are doing this, we are doing that, we cannot have PTC right now, that raises questions, because for a child every day is important. It's not like okay, yeah, as a system you're going to keep on building, improving and whatnot, but it's the child's day, it's a child's month, it's a child year that's going to get impacted. So this traffic has to flow both ways. So I'm going to show you an example that smart teachers can give an example that yes, I send an update via a newsletter, I post my update on Class Dojo, I post some pictures on Classroom, my Google Classroom. So there are many ways. So I'm going to show you an example from our adventures classroom at Rising Stars. So what we would do, we would send a newsletter like this. So what do you see in this newsletter? Can anybody wants to talk about it? What do you see here? Let's say you're a parent of an adventurer. What would you see here?
What they did that week, what they learned.
Mm-hmm. So now when you are like, if you think about Roman, let's say, like, and he's in this class. So now as a parent, when you have this, does this open opportunities to talk to him?
Yes, definitely. Like I will be asking if I see something which he did not share. I'll like, did you do this? See, your teacher has shared this. Did you do this? Did
Yeah.
you learn about this?
Yeah.
It will give a tool to communicate actually.
Absolutely. So I will be like, Azian, like, where is your farasha? That's so beautiful. How did you make it? What is this color? Oh, green is also known as akhdar. So you can see as a parent, I am so confident because can see what the child did. So I'm going to be playing with my child, saying the nose is anf and what is flower, and saying please or bismillah, and the activities. I can always reach out to my teacher. Okay, if I need, I have the book reading also. Okay, this is the book that they've done. So this gives me a lot of opportunities to interact with my child beyond the classroom. And as a teacher, when I'm doing this, it is giving opportunity to help them reinforce my learning at home. So the parent, instead of not knowing what to do, they will be revising Surah An-Nas and Falak at home. They will help with word by word translation. They would know, okay, what is the salah position that they're working in, and what was the significance of the shield that was built in. So you can see these things really help. All right, so same thing, this is explorers classroom, which is like third and fourth graders. So you saw the affirmation craft. Okay, set goals and not give up. And so you can talk to them about it. You can talk about the surah, Surah Al-Ma'un, and how can I make more of I will statements, right? And the names of Allah, as to what name of Allah did you pick. So this is just some samplers that I'm showing you, that when you have something written, communicated, then it's easier for us to communicate with our parents. Like for example, in the strivers room, we can see that, okay, Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu was done. So that way you're educating the parents as well, and at the same time you are helping them connect with their child. And this is something so amazing in beautiful in productive learning spaces. So what is the takeaway? Effective parent communication is short, clear, and positive notes, and we respect parent time. So it should be brief and meaningful. Picture is 1,000 words. So if you have one picture going, that helps them a lot as to what is there. And we provide updates on both wins plus concerns. So not only we celebrate the small achievements, the early intervention for struggles can also be made possible with that. So always link it to growth, not just the problem. So if as a teacher I have been trying to avoid meeting my parents, I've been trying to not see eye to eye with them, now is the time to say I can do it. So cut off that T, and inshallah, even if it's one liner statement, even if it's, as I said, those communication mediums, we may feel that, oh, this is too much work, but it's not work. You're already doing all the hard work in the classroom. It's just communicating. So next week, imagine you're not communicating, you teach the child something, the child comes back to your classroom next time and the child is blank. Versus option number 2, you did something in the classroom, you tell the parents, hey, I want the child to do this, the child comes back prepared because the parent is now helping and reinforcing. Which one is better, option 1 or option number 2? Two, alhamdulillah. So that is the best way to go, inshallah. Now Rasulullah said, inna rifqa la yakunu fi shay'in illa zanahu. Gentleness is not in anything except that it beautifies it. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us gentle, not only with our students, gentle with ourselves. If we are exhausted, give ourselves some time, give us some time, energy, space, understand what is the need, like what is the goal, the mission of that time frame, and don't overdo yourself. So, and use whatever you're told to do it with gentleness, inshallah. So with parent teacher communication, that means that you prepare clear goals, very clear goals. Like if you are taking care of a child just for babysitting, it's just like the child needs to just have a play environment, that has to be communicated very clearly. I'll show you an example of that also. And you begin with strengths. So if you are doing a PTC, this is known as parent teacher conference, you begin with strengths and you address the concerns gently, and you end with an action plan. what is something that is needed by that child, what is something that you want to achieve. So that is something that has to be done if we truly want to teach with love and care. Now, student feedback and voice is really important, because when you're interacting with the parents, we want to have the child give you the self-reflection as to what do they feel, and their goals, their self goals, sharing with the parents, that will really really help a lot, and it will empower student accountability. So if you if let's say you have to reach out to a parent, and something was going wrong, so the first thing is to get the child involved first, to talk to them that, what, I'm having this problem, what do you think I should do? Should I take mama's help? Should I take daddy's help on this? How can we help sort this out? Maybe the child is not behaving properly, maybe the child is struggling. So you first speak with them that like as I said, I was sitting with this child and I was asking, can you read this? Okay, let me give you a transliteration. Can you read this? Okay, I'm giving you a different, are you used to maybe a Usmani script or an Indo-Pak script that can maybe solve. So deen and nasiha, the etiquette of giving advice in Islam is beautiful. So you come to the child levels, try to talk to them one-on-one, ask them what could be the issue, what could be the problem, and then include parents in the. Yes, so basically this one, you do want, the whole team to be on the same page. So if we are just interacting with the parent and excluding the student altogether, then that's not gonna work either. So inshallah, having the student, being part of that goal setting is really gonna help. Now, as a teacher, as an educator, we can have home connection activities. So as mothers, we can design family reading nights. As parents who want to have a purposeful, positive parenting, you can do projects at home that are really beneficial. Now, as educators, we can inculcate it with our students as well. So as I said, I teach some students online. So what did I do? I got a gift book for them, like a coloring book. These children were leading letters. So what I did, I put together something and I sent them and I said, okay, I want you to do this once in a week, or I want you to watch these videos once in a week, so that you can watch together, you can bond together. This is I'm always a big advocate of not entertainment but edutainment. So I give my students things like edutainment stuff, like they can watch some things which are very powerful. So learning games at home, that really help. So we get this ayah in the Quran, qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara, protect yourselves and your families from fire. So education is a part of this responsibility. And alhamdulillah, the kind of communities we work with, when it's teaching with Quran and Sunnah, these families want to be your partners in helping the children learn and rise. So we can assign them. So for example, if we suggest a very early reader that, hey, you can get leapfrog system, the child can start reading. Hey, you can go ahead and take the membership from the library, it's free. I want you to check out maybe books of their choice and they can read. If you do, like for example, I do STEAM show and share. So I say in my STEAM show and share that this activity, I want families to help. The parents are most welcome to help the child come up with a STEAM show and share activity. Let them lead it, but they can, the parent help is perfectly fine in that, if they want to come up with a creative idea and need parent support on that. So I always make my students make like a little album in the beginning, introducing themselves, showing me in pictures what do they do, which countries they may have visited and things like that. So that's like a parent student project that is sent out, and it's so beautiful, the quality of work that comes back. And then the whole year the students enjoy, when they open their interactive notebook, it's really enjoyable for them to see, okay, where we started and how we are coming along. So this can be done on any book, on a weekend learning kind. We can always have that on like a first page, we can put like a plastic cover and put their own personal photograph on that as well. That makes it a little bit more connection to them. If it's a binder, we can do that. As a parent, like for my child, when I sent him to the preschool, I created a binder, I put it inside his picture, his family picture, so in case he's missing us, he can do that. So those kind of things really help as well in having that home connection and learning. Now this is something I wanted to I really liked, and as I was entering a preschool kind of an environment, or in a summer camp also, an early childhood, like a preschool setting or an adventure kind of a setting. And when I read this outside the door of this teacher, I really appreciated that she is setting the mind of the parent. So if a parent is walking in and they feel, hey, my child is not learning anything, he's just playing with the cars, or he's just, she's just busy building Legos, or she's just at the kitchen and just with the stuffed animals, and what is this teacher doing? So before this parent like blows up, this is a good communication this teacher is doing by putting this sign outside her room. So she's saying, I am a child, I'm not built to sit still, keep my hands to myself, take turns, stand in line, or be patient, or keep quiet. I need motion, I need novelty, I need adventure, and I need to engage the world with my whole body. Let me play, trust me, I am learning. Subhanallah. So sometimes some parents, they walk in with that kind of a mindset that, hey, I just need to see my child with that glasses on and they're just like reading or writing something, and oh my god, how could they be on technology? Like many of my peer educators have made that comments. We have had several meetings where I've seen people just like they're not even like looking at what the child is doing. All they're like, oh my god, how could they be on screens? Like, do you think screens are all bad? Type yes or no. If a child is walking in with a screen, with a device, do you think it's all bad?
It depends on why he is using it.
Absolutely. So it depends. So the tool is not good or bad, it's the way you're using the tool, it's going to make a difference. So when the child has a device, I have been having these conversations at my home as well, that subhanallah, I'm seeing so many children having those like these very nice cases in which they are just holding their iPad in there, and there's so nice educational games they've put in. I was actually moved this week. I noticed a child come outside and sit on the couch next to me as I'm taking care of a pack of kids, about 40-50 kids in the mosque for a school. And as I'm sitting, this child walks out, and this is like a probably 6-7-year-old, and he's sitting outside with his headphones and he's talking. And I'm like, who are you talking with? And then he looks at me, smiles, and he says, that's my mom. So I goes next to the mom and I say, Assalamu alaikum, I can't hear what you're saying because obviously it's going into his ears, but obviously as a school policy and things like that, we have to make sure that he's not with the wrong person over there on the other side. So but I was touched, like the mom had given the child this confidence that if you miss her, she can be in touch. And since in that kind of a setting the internet connection was allowed, we have the screens, so the child, instead of going to anything wrong or dangerous or something like that, he is choosing to spend moments to be with mom and talk to her, and she is available for him, lovingly guiding him as to what he can do next after this activity. So that was something beautiful. So alhamdulillah, if we look at screens, you will see so many applications which are teaching maths, early childhood, writing control, letter recognition, you name it. Like we have so many applications, like teaching the world, even ourselves. How many of us feel that we have learned a lot in the digital age, right? So we have come a long way because of other people experiences they're capturing. We have come a long way. So anything in moderation works. And so that's why posting something like this, like for example, if your classroom has access to computers and devices, like for example, I use devices in my classroom, so I educate my parents, like okay, what they are doing, what is allowed. I educate my students as to what they can possibly do and what something they cannot possibly do. As an educator, I will make sure I can see what my student is doing. I cannot be blinded. Okay, I don't have any access to their screen, and in my supervision they are going into some places where they're not allowed to. No, I will make sure my diligence is there, that I can see what they're doing, and then obviously I would want to educate them to make a smart choices, to use the right things. But alhamdulillah, if you have a small kid and they are playing and they're doing some things, communicating something like this will help your administration, also would help anybody walking into your classroom and seeing that to some people it may look like a chaos, but in actual this is learning environment in which everybody is happily working. So at the end of the day, building a culture of trust is our goal, and we want to have respect for confidentiality as well. Active listening is learning. I like this comment that praise in the public and correct in the private. So if it's your student also, like, apply the same thing applies. If we have a certain expectation a child is violating, then call a PTC, talk to the parents, involve them. If you have taken those necessary steps, yes, as a teacher, as an educator who wants to teach with love and care, and you're losing it, just have that child being taken by the next tier level. Send with the next tier level. As and when you are done, then you reach out to the right ways as to why that behavior was there. Have an active listening. When you get a moment, let's say a break time is a good time to go connect with that student, ask them as to what was going on, how can we make them helpful. Sometimes some of the teachers could be very loud. For little kids it could be very intimidating, so we have to make sure that our tone is light. Sometimes what we can do is, and that's very easy to do, is use our own phones to record ourselves, right? And then we can realize how fast we talk, or how audible we are, or how difficult could it be for a child to understand us. We can always make nowadays time lapses or video recordings. We can always make that. And parents should feel valued, not judged, right? So it should be that vibe is not a good vibe. And typically this is something I've seen in American systems. They really take time to help parents be valued at a younger elementary age, but in the senior level age there's very less communication that happens. And then it's just like, okay, you need help, then you approach us. Subhanallah. So there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. As a last, I would like to remind ourselves that man la yashkurun nas la yashkurullah. Whoever does not thank people, he has not thanked Allah. So when we are grateful for these opportunities of these learning environments, it's the parents that we are thankful for, right? That they are here, they brought their child there, so we are able to teach them. They trusted us with this most precious gift that they have, so alhamdulillah, then we are able to serve them. So let us just take a moment to discuss about a parent who is super upset about the learning which is being offered, or let's say the grades have gone down. So how do you respond to such a parent? What would you do? And it's like how to respond respectfully.
Like which area that child is low or weak, to talk with that particular subject, and then we'll make sure that the child have some extra work. I mean, some for example, a different way of teaching, not in a regular way of teaching. We can help the child to do it in a different way to make that child understand. So something like that. So giving them extra application, so that they can do more work on it, practice on it.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
Help the student to go up with the grades.
Okay, perfect. Nizma, you want to say something?
Generally, I experience with the American teachers is like, if there is something wrong with the students, they never come straight to that point. They always first, educate us about what's the good in our kid. Like the first praise to the extent that we feel relaxed. Then in a very, set tone, they discuss it, and they make sure that it's not a very big deal. We can solve it. The thing they will be, educating us is like, this is the thing we need to work on, but not to stress on.
Alhamdulillah. So we see that true, like teaching with love and care. And this is something that I noticed too much now.
I am from India, so we have always been the direct comment. Your kid is not getting good marks. Please send him to a tuition or, do some extra work.
Yeah.
But the thing I loved in this environment is they never say this. And it actually, that take me very long to understand what that teacher is actually saying.
Right.
Very set tone that we don't understand that what they mean, because they don't want to hurt the student, they don't want to hurt us, but they want to work on it. And it took me very long to understand that, but they do it in a very precise way that the work goes on, but without hurting any other's feelings. But they educate us, but at the end of the meeting, or at the end of a email or something, we will be getting some good out of it. It's not a stressful thing, but something to work on in a very cool way.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So this is the incredible thing, and this is what we all aspiring to be. Because even like with my little one, when they were doing assessments, as special needs, they do a lot of assessments. So when they're assessing, and I'm with this therapist, and she's assessing, she's taking a standardized test for him, and she asked him, okay, which one is a girl, which one is a boy, and he points to the wrong one, and she's like, all right, great, who is going up, who is going down, and he points to the wrong one, and she's like, oh, awesome, all right, which one is blue and which one is green? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, he's giving all wrong answers, And she's like, we don't tell the child. Yeah, so
she had the speech therapy, right?
Yeah.
The way they encourages kid. Actually, we Desi parents need the quick result, that the kid should be giving us the right answer. Then only we will encourage, but not to the extent the Americans do.
Yeah.
But the Americans encourage the kids, even they are playing with them, but they are teaching some them. If you observe carefully, they will be playing with them, but they are actually teaching.
Yeah.
But the thing, we will be teaching a lot, but we are not reaching them.
Yeah. So basically, to put it together, that's the way, like he is giving wrong answers, but he was able to answer the 20 question packet because he was getting positive reinforcement, right? But if I would have done that test, if I would have done it with the earlier mindset, after 2 or 3 wrong questions, I would be done and he would be done. He would be like, I'm not doing anymore.
Even we start discouraging our own selves that, he needs something, he's lagging at something.
Right.
We don't even think the positive side of it. Like, at least he got a knowledge.
Now he knows, like, which one is that. So alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So this is like the example of this shared goal. So basically what I would say, advanced systems, these goals, shared goals, are pretty nicely advocated and highlighted. Okay, what is our goal that we're trying to achieve? So if a parent is upset about grades or learning, so we need to be very respectful. We need to let them know, okay, this is the expectation, so this is the roadmap how we can get there. And we communicate all that in a very positive spirit. So alhamdulillah for this beautiful conversation. So our final takeaway from today's session is to look at parents as partners, not outsiders. And that's where many systems utilize this strategy. Even they use them in a school setting, they use them as co-teachers as well. They come in as teaching buddies. Sometimes a parent walks in and they're like, oh, I'm not good at teaching, but I can help you grade the work. So you can always use parents as somebody who is grading your work for you, helping you with assessments, helping you with listening to the du'as and things like that, or being very effective helpers in PTO. So respectful communication is sunnah, and small systems like folders, notes, check-ins build big trust. So when the student is getting those those rewards, like for example they're getting those bucks because they brought their homework back, it's an encouragement not only for at certain places, if a child has a full attendance or a timely attendance, there's those rewards which are given to the parents as well, because they are the ones who are driving that child. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us that we leverage that as partnership. Allahumma alif bayna qulubina wa aslih zata baynina. Allah, unite our hearts and reconcile our differences. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us that we can see as teamwork is dream work. So as a partner, many families struggle with their children well-being because the husband and wives are not on the same page. A husband is strict, or a wife is too lenient, or the wife is too ambitious and the husband is just so cool about it. At the end, the suffering is for the child because they're getting so many mixed directions on that. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us for strong partnerships within our homes and as educators in our professional spaces. So dream it, dua it, and do it. Let dua be your best weapon. And again, I just wanted to before wrapping up, give you some examples. As parents, when you're sending out newsletters, you're just letting them know, okay, what it's going to be looking like, what are your expectations patience, then it helps, it makes it so more easier for them. That it takes a lot of time, writing these, but remember that inshallah, just like it's showing here, it will show on the day of judgment on in the scales as hasanat, that somebody took time and effort in communicating that what is expecting, what's coming ahead, so that the parents can plan effectively, the parents can participate effectively, and the parents can motivate their child effectively. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So if you are working with any parents, do ask them to make sure, when it's part of the PTC, I always ask my parents that, can you see the grades in Alma? Can you see, this newsletter? Are you getting these emails or messages? Because considerable time is spent, making sure that they have access to it. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to do the dream work with the best teamwork and as a triangle, as a parent, student, teacher, life permitting. Next, inshallah, we will conclude with an effective teaching roadmap. If you have benefited from this, definitely share with anybody that you know. The link is the same, tiny.cc/TLC Workshop, and the recordings are available for replay, to re-soak in, and to apply what we have learned in our classrooms, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable it, facilitate the best of the best for all. Jazakumullah khair for being here. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.